Hey guys, welcome back with your boys here, the Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room. Today we're going to be talking NFC West. We're going to tell you about some deep sleeper, next man up guys that aren't on your initial radar in the early rounds, but towards the end of the draft can definitely win your league. So stay tuned, enjoy the show. Follow us and subscribe on YouTube as well as Instagram and TikTok.
Welcome to the Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room. One more time, we're excited to be here tonight and to discuss two interesting different divisions in football. So over the next couple of shows, we're going to be covering the NFC West and the AFC West. Yeah. So there's a lot of talent there. So
I think for contrasting conferences of the same divisional name being the West, I think these are probably two of the stronger fantasy football divisions.
Well said. Well said.
You're going to want to target a lot of dudes on these teams.
Yeah.
A lot.
I think there's a lot of questions around these teams too, though.
Well, for sure.
And this is, first of all, we're going to do our drop today. This is our continuing episode. Divisional.
Let's get
I'm not doing this.
You miss your damn cue.
We didn't even talk about this.
You carry the low part.
You're big on organic, man. We're not supposed to talk
He's
about
the high, I'm the mid, you're the low.
But I did the high better than both of you last time.
Did
so
you?
how am I think I did.
I think you did the low when your voice cracked like a schoolgirl. That's what I remember.
Is that what it makes you think of?
No, exactly.
Schoolgirls have low voices?
Wow.
Hey, you're strange,
What school
man.
did you go to?
Schoolgirls in Hoboken. You know what I'm saying? All right, so who wants to start?
Playing dodgeball.
Start what?
Svetlana's from the Bald Rocky.
Have you seen the girls in Hoboken? That's all I want to say.
Well, I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah, they're good looking. Well, I mean,
I mean, come on.
I don't want anybody to hear that.
I've been to Hoboken. I don't know that I would.
Where'd you go in Hoboken?
Yeah, I went to Pete's.
Pete's.
Some Italian place. I don't know. Just choosing names.
You should probably release this video after
So you're saying you were like
leave
looking for
Hoboken.
talent when you were in Hoboken?
I look for talent everywhere I go because I'm a male. I'm a man.
Are you okay? All right.
We've highlighted this.
Yeah.
He's always looking for to figure out who's good looking.
Yeah.
No, it's not good looking.
That's his
it's
thing.
Just I like people watching in general. I'm equally happy with somebody doing something stupid as somebody who's attractive or.
But you never ask if like Daniel Snyder's daughter is doing something stupid.
I think it's a fair question. I'm going to look up and find her picture.
So before we get into it, how was your guys' week? Anything new? Anything exciting?
Yeah, man, we got some big stuff going on over at the Mullen House. Let me tell you.
Okay, tell
Like
us.
what?
Got a brand new cage for our guinea pigs.
This is terrible. Do you have anything going on?
It's huge, man. It's a lot of room. The guinea pigs are having a lot of fun. They're prancing around.
How many guinea pigs do you have?
I got a CPAP too. I told you about that, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps me from dying in my sleep.
I think.
Oh,
you
really?
should,
Yeah.
I think you should take a picture and post that.
I probably should.
Yeah.
I
On
look like
Instagram or Facebook.
Look like a jet fighter,
I actually look like a Star Wars like TIE fighter in it.
Does it
but not cool.
Does it
right?
get Tara going?
Much
Or?
cooler.
No.
No,
I think anything that covers up that mug.
The Top Gun, but the Top Gun look.
Maverick.
Does she call you Maverick?
She calls me Goose.
Didn't Goose die?
Yeah, see?
So, there you
She's
go.
trying to remind me that if I take it off,
COVID.
I might die.
It's not good. So is it working? Like, is your sleep better?
Yeah, actually the sleep is a lot better. Because in the middle of the night, when you're doing a lot of snoring, it kind of tricks your body into believing that you're not fat. So
This is great radio.
Helps
Hey,
you breathe.
CPAPs. There's a lot of people in the
Yeah,
world.
dude, I got a lot of energy in the morning.
All right. Hey, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, man, I'm eating better because of it.
Look at that.
Exercising.
Yeah.
You exercise?
No, not yet. But
Okay.
it's getting there. That's what I'm talking about. The CPAP gives you hope.
You're sweating.
My 85th ride on the Peloton, closing in on a free T-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah, I was on it
Yeah,
today.
like you need a free T-shirt.
I'm a free T-shirt whore. You like free T-shirts? I love free
I
T-shirts.
do, but every like 20, well, not 20, every 10 years, Trisha makes me
Purge.
purge and throw out some. She's like, you're not going to wear that.
They don't fit you anymore.
Yeah, you're not going to wear that size medium red hot chili pepper.
Oh, I
shirt.
have those. Waited
That's
for
the
them to
someday.
be back in the rotation.
The someday clothes. Someday I'm going to get in that shirt. But the thing is, even now, even if I got down to that size, it would not look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it would look funny.
Yeah,
I
so,
get what you're saying.
you know.
Rocky, you think it's about time to throw away the James Way shirt?
Yeah. Hey,
It's been a while.
I factor you in as somebody who has been to a John Mayer concert. Have
Who?
you been to a John Mayer
me?
concert? Yeah.
Him?
I picture him singing
No,
"Your Body's a Wonderland."
no.
I just do, don't you? I mean, doesn't he have that look? Stalker.
He would have to dress too nice to go to a John Mayer concert.
Oh, come on.
Maybe Corn.
John Mayer's is very he's a very underrated,
He got excited when he said corn, I felt like.
very underrated guitarist.
No, he's a
Mr.
great
John Mayer.
guitarist, yeah. But one of the kids at the store, she's trying to get me to listen to his new album. She said it's really great. And I said, I hold his body, your body is a wonderland against him. I do, because it's an awful song. It's creepy.
It is pretty bad.
Yeah. So,
Unless
Not as better.
Unless
body
what?
work.
you're John Mayer.
yeah, well, he made a lot of money, so what do I know? So, Mark, you're still eating well. We have not been eating as well.
No,
We
we're
gotta
on
get
it. I'm
back-
downsliding.
Yeah.
Backsliding. What is it? Yeah, backsliding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should know that.
Yeah. Well, I forgot.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, but,
Why should I know?
because you're a backslider. I'm just saying.
What
Oh,
does that even mean?
oh,
I don't know.
that's a bazinga.
I'm just throwing stuff out there.
A bazinga.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
trying to help him out here.
So,
You're sliding on your back is what he's saying.
should we start with our first team here?
Oh yeah, my week was fine too, fellas. All right, so let's go.
What did you do? Wait.
No, nothing. It's
Wait, wait,
right.
wait.
No.
it's fine. It's fine. No, I don't. It's all right.
You've got something.
I don't
you
want
wanna
to say
get off your
anything.
chest.
He's gonna.
No, I
cry.
have nothing to get off my chest. It's just nice to know where I stand.
I feel like he's gonna cry a little bit.
No, I'm not going to cry. It's
Tear it
just
up?
nice to know
Need a hug?
where I stand.
Phil, who's your next man up? I ain't telling you guys now.
Yeah.
I bet you'd like to know.
Yeah.
I do want to know how your
You
week
stand
was.
on my shoulders.
I do. I want to know.
Stronger.
It's getting worse by the minute.
So I want to tell you what I just did.
I think we've set a record for the most drops already.
Now this is the best thing I've ever done on the show, and I'm pointing it out because you guys didn't know I did this. But I pushed my paper. I pushed a fake button.
You're an idiot. Sorry.
And I'm being honest. I didn't have to say that,
It's nice. We'll zoom in on it.
but
Post.
that's what happened. So all right.
All right, so let's talk about those Rams. Where are they playing from? Where are they at now? LA?
I think so, right?
LA Rams.
All right, so we had some big news this week, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
hit each other up in the chat. Sad news. So all joking aside, with Cam Akers torn Achilles, is that right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's going to miss the season. And Sagai was their lead back last year. I think a lot of people were excited about him coming into the season. I know for sure on this show alone, we all had him ranked pretty high with a new quarterback, and it's a big blow. But it's also a door opening for
Somebody else.
a couple of the guys we're going to talk about, mainly who I think is going to be
Yeah.
Darrell Henderson.
So I don't know if you guys saw it too. There was an amazing. I'm a like history. I like the retired players and so forth. But I don't know if they unveiled the new Rams jersey.
I haven't seen it.
It was a throwback jersey,
I
Okay.
did, yeah.
and so they had Eric Dickerson
Oh.
handing the uniform to Akers,
That's cool.
and then like 4 days later, he
Yeah, they're going with the yellow pants this year, right?
Yeah.
It's like a throwback.
terrible thing for Akers is he was really showing a lot of promise toward the end of last year, looked to be really good, was going to be drafted very high, I think, in most drafts. And this is a bad injury. Achilles for a running back. I can't think. Can you think of one that came back and was effective after it?
Running back?
I can think of one, just one.
Who you got?
Arian Foster. He came back from it, was signed by the Dolphins. They used him at the end of that year. Now, they still cut him.
Yeah.
But he looked like he had something still in the tank.
But let me ask you, how long ago was that? Like 5-6 years ago?
I think longer than that.
Longer than that. Yeah.
So-
Aaron Foster's been out of the league for what? Probably close to 10.
No.
Yeah, he's been out
10
at least
years?
5 or
Yeah,
6. Yeah.
Foster's been out for a while.
Not
man.
10 years. Let's look that up.
Look it up.
So I'll talk while you're doing that. What I will mention about this injury is that we've had a couple of them happen recently in the NBA. And I don't know if maybe the procedures are getting better or just the science is better now. But Kevin Durant, probably the biggest one, highest profile, and he looked probably stronger than he did before he got hurt this year.
Yeah.
Even Kobe at like 37, he had the Achilles repaired, and he was able to come back and play another season or two. So
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, and I think the surgeries are getting better. Foster retired 2016, so
Dude, I don't
only
know.
5 years ago.
5,
Yeah. Not 10. But that
not
was
10. But okay.
I don't know where the time's been going. It's been flying.
Well, it's
Okay.
been crawling for you.
Okay, so who does that so who's the next man up for that? Or well, let's start first. Is there anybody on the Rams that is an automatic?
I think Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. I think we could maybe say
Tyler Higbee.
Tyler Higbee and Stafford when you get to quarterbacks.
I'm higher on Stafford, but I did a few mock drafts and he's been going lower than I thought.
It's good.
Oh, yeah.
Which is good, but I'm personally high on Stafford. And if anything, the injury to Akers will help Kupp, Higbee, Woods.
We're not happy about the injury. Let me
No.
just make sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's terrible.
It screwed a lot of teams, man, that draft early too. I know, a large portion of our viewers they don't do volume drafts, but for the guys that have been drafting for a few months now, Akers has been going back end of round 1 into the beginning of round 2, and some guys will even reach for him and take him in the top 5 picks, thinking that he's really going to explode with the addition of Stafford there. So this is a huge blow to anybody who has drafted early. And this is, just like anything else, this is pros versus cons of drafting early. If Akers isn't on your radar, and for me, target-wise, he wasn't. If he came to me in the draft, if he came to me in the second round, I have a couple shares of Akers, but not being high on him, I really don't have a whole lot of Akers. And that bodes well for me because a lot of guys just lost their first-round pick.
The thing about I hate drafts that draft this early. To me, it doesn't make any sense. And this is what the argument is. Oh, it's like the NFL. The NFL drafts, earlier in the offseason. This is not the NFL. This is fantasy. And I don't know, like even now, who is the start? Who would you go with? Who's the replacement running back?
I would say Henderson.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure. It could be, right? But I like Xavier Jones. He's right behind him, and they drafted James Funk, and we got
It's a
the
hell
Funk.
of a name.
And not for nothing,
No,
man.
We
I
got the Funk.
I believe Mr. Todd Gurley is still out there unsigned.
So they cannot sign. I checked this. They cannot sign Gurley.
Oh, because they still owe him money.
Dead money, $8.6 million. So Gurley's still getting paid $8.6
Boy,
million.
doing good. He's doing okay.
He's doing okay. So, but I thought the same thing. First thing, man, bring him in. He knows the system. He's still got some stuff in the tank.
Yeah.
Not going to be, a bad pickup, but they can't do it.
So who would you go with if you had to?
Right now, I go with Henderson,
Okay.
but I am really interested in Xavier Jones.
What about you?
I mean, I think default you have to go Henderson. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to bring somebody in. A team like Indianapolis is sitting on 3 running backs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why not bring in Marlon Mack? Why not try to trade for Marlon Mack? Why not try to trade for Nyheim Hines?
Yeah.
Bring somebody else in here to at least push Henderson, because if everyone remembers the beginning of the season last year, Henderson was the guy, right? It wasn't Akers. Henderson was the guy. Akers was dealing with some stuff. Henderson really didn't prove too much in his first, I think, 6 or 7 games. He only had two games of over 100 scrimmage yards and only 5 total touchdowns. So I mean, he wasn't lighting the fantasy world on fire by any means.
He's a small back, 5'8", 208. He's not an every down back. And I think there's a lot of teams. You mentioned the Colts, but heck, the 49ers got like 15.
Yeah.
I mean, there's running backs out there.
So let me just put a bow on this, and we can kind of segue it. If you had to draft this weekend, are you taking Henderson
Yeah.
or Xavier? Right?
No, I'm-
probably go
I'm-
Henderson
I'm going
now.
Henderson.
So let me segue it. So if we're taking Henderson now, let's say Henderson's there, and we have a Chase Edmonds or a James Conner. Who are you going with?
Yeah, so we're switching to Arizona. I think that's a good topic because I think right now I would still probably rather pick Henderson, or my next probably bet would be James Conner.
So we
that
feel
meshes
better about Henderson's role, is what I'm saying, than we do about either of those guys in Arizona, or at least you do.
I think we know that the Rams have proven they like to run and throw to the running backs, and there's less competition there. So I would go Henderson right now.
What about you, Henderson or somebody in the backfield for Arizona?
I'm going with the backs in Arizona, and I'm not a big Connor fan. I honestly do believe they brought Connor in for some depth, and I really think they're going to give Edmonds some run. I think Edmonds is just such a capable pass catching back, and to feather back to Henderson, yeah, man, the hype train.
Got a lot of hype train.
For me, it was.
You love Edmonds.
I do love Edmonds.
A little too much, I think.
Yeah.
With Henderson, with Cam Akers being gone, I think now the addition of Stafford, I think maybe they're not really going to try to force the ball to the running backs anymore. So I think who really benefits are the wide receivers and the tight end in LA, because I think it's going to open up the field for Stafford a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, Stafford, I feel bad for Stafford. Poor guy. He's very rarely had a great running back.
Yeah.
I mean, he had Swift, but they traded him, to LA. He walks in, he's thinking, I got a pretty solid back in Akers. Boom. This happened.
Does anybody know the money that they gave Connor?
It was $1.5 million.
So not much, right?
Yeah,
Not
it was
much.
nothing.
Yeah.
That actually factored into me still being high on Edmonds, because I know you saying chase the money is like stuck with me. I'm like, yeah, it makes
That's not much money.
Makes a lot of sense, and that's not much money. So
It's not much money.
you're not going to follow the money there.
The thing that bothers me about the Edmonds thing is that he's been there so long.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to. I mean, we've seen these guys, whether it was, Carolina, they always had Stewart, and I'm forgetting the other. Who was the other guy they always had there with Jonathan Stewart?
It was
It'll come to me in a second.
Yeah.
But,
You guys know who I'm talking
D'Angelo
about.
Williams.
I just feel like the same thing in Baltimore. It just seems like they like to have multiple backs, and they're not going to commit to one guy. So, like, the Edmonds thing,
I just feel like Edmonds
just don't see it.
His best year ever last year. He had 448 yards.
I mean, we forget they traded away David Johnson and they brought in Drake.
Right.
When Edmonds, they could have let him take over as a younger back.
I think Edmonds is an amazing receiving back.
Yeah.
53 receptions, 500 yards last year, and 4 touchdowns. As a runner, he's pretty good, but I feel like they're going to kind of run Connor and throw to Edmonds.
Maybe.
So I'm afraid Edmonds is going to be more of a second, third down back.
If I had to pick, I'd probably take Connor just because I've seen him produce for fantasy, even though he had a bad...
Behind a bad line.
Yeah, but I've seen it with him. Edmonds, I've seen flashes of the talent, but I haven't seen him produce for a whole season.
Right. It's limited take on that.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that Edmonds, and he's only been in the league 3 years. This is year 4 coming up. 4.5 yard per carry average is no slouch.
No, it's not.
As a backup running back too. I
Yeah.
mean, you're not getting the run that the primary back's getting.
But it's a smaller sample size.
Yeah, but he's also not getting those definitive early down runs like Kenyon was getting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where there's a little bit more oomph in the offensive line.
So why do you think that's going to change? We're bringing a guy like James Conner in.
Because personally, I didn't even like Connor in Pittsburgh. He had
But they like Connor. They gave him 1.5, which is not a lot, but they still
nothing though. That's
it's
little money.
not a lot, but they didn't bring him in to sit on the bench either.
So
No, I think
And they
he
didn't
was
bring him
gonna-
in to come in on third downs.
here's my main issue with Edmonds, and then we can probably need to go on to the next topic. But
Yeah.
he performs better. So there were stretches last year when he was truly a second back in the backfield, and these are his averages: 4.6, 4.7, 4.8, 6.5, 7.0, 11.6.
Yeah.
When he was a starting back, his averages were 4, 4.3, 1.3, 4.3. So I think when he comes in as a change of pace back, when he comes in as a third down back, it's a different role than when you are the guy and everybody knows you're the guy. And I don't know, he's not a Nick Chubb, who I think is maybe the best runner in NFL football.
What you said.
And how do we keep bringing up the Browns every
I got a Chubb for Chubb. That's all I'm saying.
divisional talk?
Okay, so going to Arizona, who is an absolute we're drafting on the Cardinals?
DeAndre.
Murray, probably.
Yep.
And-
Are we feeling good about anybody else?
Not really.
I like the prospect of AJ Green, maybe
Okay.
being able to come back without having to be the guy.
Yeah.
But is he somebody you're targeting?
No, he's somebody that you get as a flyer, deep. Last couple
As
of
somebody
rounds.
that had AJ Green last year, I will not be targeting him. It seemed like he pushed the ball away from him. He had wanted nothing to do with that. Like the ball was COVID,
Yeah.
and he was 85.
Maybe he was worried about that.
Is it too soon to make COVID jokes?
No,
It
it's
probably
not, but
is.
maybe that's what it
Yeah,
was.
it's-
Right. Maybe
I
he
feel
just
like-
didn't want the
I
contact.
feel like I'm getting canceled.
Canceled. The Mandalorian. Need I say
Cancel
more?
myself. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So let's move on to Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Right? I'm talking about Russell Wilson, guys.
I know.
Okay.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
dangerous.
So obviously Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, automatic. They're guys you're going to take. I think we have a little bit. I know we didn't really talk with you about it, but I think there was a little discussion between Carson and Lockett, and where we fell on them as far as if you had a choice of the two, who would you take?
I'm a big Carson guy. I'll be honest with you. And I looked at his stats because I made a trade for him with some idiot in another league.
Who raped you.
Yeah, well, so anyways. But looking at his stats, I became even more clear. The only thing that has separated him from being a great back is injuries.
Injury, that's it.
Yeah. But when he's been healthy, he's operates around the 11 to 7, seventh best back.
And he could do everything. Yeah, he catch the ball. He's an all-around guy. I would personally like Carson over Lockett just because, if you look, we've been over the Lockett thing, especially last year. He's very hot and cold. Had the biggest game probably of his career and then went about 6 weeks without, going double digits. So, I'm probably still right there with him.
Yeah, and I too like Carson. Then the only drawback is not really staying healthy. Rookie season, 4 games, followed by 14, 15, 12 games last year, respectively. But when he's got the ball in his hand and he's healthy, man, he's a 4.6 yard per carry average runner. You're going to look at 40-plus targets every year, with a really good catch percentage there. His best season, most games he played 2 seasons ago, 1,500 total yards, 9 touchdowns, another close to 40 receptions. So, I mean, he's a very, very viable fantasy back. Is he screaming off the board in the first round? No.
Yeah.
But
he gets forgotten, I think.
yeah, but if you get to start your draft, dynamic wide receiver, and now you're trying early in that 3rd round to fill out your running backs in that 0 running back theory, Carson is a great guy to start that draft.
And then you go late rounds and you grab his handcuff.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about, and I guess maybe this is a question, is Russell Wilson dangerous? Is he a guy you want? Are you targeting Russell Wilson?
Like, just in general?
I mean, like, is he somebody that you consider to be a top 5 quarterback?
Top 5. Oh. Here's the thing. I tend to wait on quarterback most of the time. So I'm typically not picking out of that cream of the crop. But, man, I guess I would have to run through it in my head right now. I'd say he's on the fringe of top 5 right now. Just that he doesn't run as much as he used to.
Yeah, the same. But again, he is one of those mobile guys. He might not run as much as he used to, but he's still, for me, those guys, they're going to fall a little bit ahead of the pure passers because he's an excellent passer, a lot of yards every year. He's got weapons, touchdowns, but add the mobility factor in, now you're going to start getting some running back production out of him too. So I like guys like that. So I would say probably just out of the top 5.
So
Maybe
as far
right
as
around like 7.
pure passers like that we would put in the top 5, we're only really talking about Brady and Rodgers, right?
Pretty much.
So would you put both of those guys
maybe-
ahead of him?
I wouldn't actually put Brady ahead of him. I think Brady getting a little long in the tooth. I don't know. At some point, he's got to decline.
I would put both in front of him. I would also put Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. I'm trying to think of who else.
Well, now you're getting
Kyler Murray.
the mobile quarterback.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, there's only really 2 that are not mobile.
Right.
I mean, there's not a lot of those guys left.
I just think if you look
Stafford's
at
not mobile, but I would put him probably behind Russell.
2 years ago, Wilson had an amazing second half of the season, terrible first half of the season. Last year, at game 8, at the end of his 8th game, he was on pace for 5,500 yards and 53 touchdowns. and DK was a number 4 receiver in the league, and Lockett was like number 12.
Yeah.
The second half, he fell off pace. He was terrible. He was actually only on pace the last 8 games for 30 touchdowns, 3,500 yards. You know, people talk about Baker Mayfield having parts of his seasons are great. I don't know that we've seen a great season from Russell Wilson in 3 years.
I mean, complete season?
Yeah, complete season where every week you're starting him and you're not even thinking about it like you aren't thinking about it with Rodgers and Josh Allen and those guys.
That's fair. You know, because I think injuries probably affect Russ a little bit more than they do
Yeah.
the elite quarterbacks.
Yeah. Well, I think it's partly his height too, because if he can't run to get a sight line, then he's less of a pure quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Drew Brees completely demolishes that theory. though.
Well, you're right, but
But he's not Drew Brees.
yeah.
So
It's a different style too. Mark, do you want to mention anybody else from Seattle? I think you have a.
So I think we have to mention DK Metcalf.
Okay.
You know,
I thought you might want to mention him.
yeah. I mean, you're talking about Seattle's number one option there, right? A big physical wide receiver. Where do you guys have him ranked in your wide receiver rankings? Not overall, just wide receiver. Where you placing him? You
off
placing
the
him?
top of my head, he's definitely
Is he up there with the elites, or you have him in like the next cut?
I think I need to see. Yeah, he's probably right in the next cut. If
Well, who
there's
do you
an eight,
consider elite? You got Adams, if
So-
Rodgers is there.
Adams, I would
Adam-
still put
Hill,
Julio,
Hopkins.
Hill, Hopkins.
You put Ridley's probably not there yet, not elite, but he's close.
I think Ridley is
I
there.
think Ridley's elite.
Okay.
I think he's very
Stephon Diggs.
underrated.
Diggs, the other one.
Diggs.
Yeah.
So in that company, do you put him there, or do you put him down? Maybe the next, like he, AJ Brown, like that group of.
I think he's the head of that next tier.
So you do like him better than AJ Brown?
I would
Yes.
say
Yeah.
I would be happy to have him.
Are you picking DK Metcalf in the first round?
I would pick DK as high as I would pick Diggs or Ridley
You would.
or Julio.
I wouldn't.
I would pick
For
Hill.
the reason that you just were given with Russell.
Well, I would
Wait.
pick Hill because of the touchdown production, Devontae because of the touchdown production. The rest of the guys are kind of hit or miss with touchdowns,
That's true.
you know. So that's where I think DK, you know, he's going to score. He's a big red zone threat.
Yeah, big time. And I mean, 2 seasons in the NFL, 100 and 129 targets, respectively. They're big numbers for.
I just
for
need
young
to,
wide
before I
receiver.
put him in that top 5, I just got to see
Yeah.
You're
want
all-
to see a
another
full season.
full season. Yeah,
You're all about longevity.
like even with Diggs, you know, he doesn't have as many touchdowns as those other 2 guys you mentioned, but I mean the targets, the receptions, the yardage.
Diggs is a
He's
special
consistent.
receiver because he's not working with the same physical skills of he's fast,
Yeah.
but he's nowhere near as big.
No.
Like he's pretty special in spite of his size.
Yeah,
I think DK is special because of his size.
I think DK takes that step this year if everything goes to plan.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I would say.
Yep, I think so.
And then, you know, so since we're talking about wideouts, we'll move on to San Fran. And probably one of the biggest conundrums for me coming into the year is deciding whether I want to shares in Debo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk.
Okay.
What do you guys think? I mean, these are.
Well, first I want to ask, is there anybody on the 49ers that is a must take?
Yeah, Kittle.
Kittle, yeah.
Yeah. Kittle's the only one I had too. Because he's a tight end more than anything else.
Well, let me say, I think Ayuk and Debo are both must takes as well.
Yes, but
I
it's
just
where.
don't know in which order you take them.
That's right.
Yeah, I think
and so
that's
let's
what we're saying,
argue it.
right?
What do you guys think? Who's number one for you?
Oh, Phil, let's hear what you
I
got.
would- it's like I said, it's a conundrum for me. So, I mean, honestly, if I was just watching the game and they didn't have names on the back of their jerseys, I could confuse the guys.
Yeah,
And I don't know. I'll say Debo Samuel.
a racist. That's right.
That's ridiculous. I'd probably say Debo
I just had
Samuel.
to throw that out there.
And just because of a gut feeling, I really have no idea. I don't know where I land on them.
Yeah, and so I am opposite. I'd go every time Ayuk.
Every time.
I like Debo. Amazing. Like everything says the guy's a stud. He has not been healthy for the last 4 years going back to college.
Yeah.
So I go Ayuk just because of health.
That's a good point.
I love Debo coming out of South
Yeah,
Carolina,
no,
too.
yeah,
He was one of those under-the-radar guys that
Yep.
came off the board.
Yep.
San Fran got a polished diamond
Yep.
with him. I mean, it wasn't even Cole, man. That guy was already a diamond.
Yep.
And it's a shame he just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, we're not talking about even Julio injuries. We're talking about the guy misses like 7-8 games in a row. Like it's
Yeah.
not been hit or miss.
He gets and big injuries, too. I mean, they're not just your run-of-the-mill injuries.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I'm with you. It's Ayuk every time. I just
Just like saying Ayuk.
Ayuk. I think Ayuk he's shiftier. I think he's more dynamic. I think he's got amazing hands. He's fast and explosive.
Yeah.
And if they can get consistent quarterback play,
Bigger, stronger.
bigger, stronger, faster. There you go. He missed it again.
Better, stronger, faster.
Thank you, Rocky. Thank you for that. My
did that
grandfather
with
is
no cueing.
applauding right now.
That's a great show. That's a great show. Did you ever watch the $6 Million?
Yeah, my grandfather used to watch it every day.
I'll kick you in the nuts right now.
I'm being serious. He
Your
did.
grandfather. You didn't. First of all, didn't have a grandfather. I don't believe it.
Well, first of all, relax because
Boom.
then you're going to cross the line. No, he did. He watched it every day.
Yeah, it's a good show.
So let me just throw some stats that you're probably not even aware of.
Can you do it quickly?
How impressive Ayuk was last year. Here's a guy that kept dropping down the board in the NFL draft, right? People were talking about Ayuk going potentially a little bit higher, ahead of a couple of the guys that they thought were going to come off the board early. So he falls down, and again, San Fran ends up with a polished diamond. 96 targets in only 12 games in his rookie season.
Yeah. That's
96 in 12 games. 60 receptions, 748 yards, 5 touchdowns. Not bad. And they try to mix him up they try to mix him into the running game as well. 6 carries, last year. If I had to guess, I think they're probably going to start utilizing him throwing the ball too. I say Ayuk has more throwing touchdowns this year than Odell Beckham Jr.
Wow.
Rocky keeps.
Let's get a bet on that one. Sorry, I stroked out there, guys.
What kind of bet?
That's an atomic drop.
All right, you
Well,
got.
no, we don't have. No, what do you?
The sound effect. Well, just mix it in when you edit.
I'm very important. I have.
Okay, so what is the bet? What are you saying? Are you saying how about this
A
bet?
shot on the wheel of death.
Okay, shot on the wheel of death, and this is the bet.
I have a better bet than that.
All right, but this is the bet that I'll accept first. Hang on.
You're not in the bet.
I'm the mediator.
You got no skin in the game.
So, who scores more touchdowns that do not come from receptions, throwing or running?
all right,
Is that fair?
I like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they both run. They both do jet sweeps.
Yeah, we get it. All right, yeah. Running and throw. So non-receiving. What do you want to do? Hold his hand and go look at the fucking
Somebody
lake?
is
Yeah,
cranky today.
Needs to see-
So the bet is the shots.
Someone,
What I think-
What do you want?
someone got a little poo poo in their
I
diaper.
mean, I think maybe since you guys are both on these guys Johnsons, I go get you some lollipops from the adult store.
No, I don't listen. I know what you're going to do. What
am I gonna do?
I don't find the need for this.
I don't either.
Just an adult lollipop.
No, I don't need an adult lollipop.
Well, you're not going to lose.
I'll take a shot. I'll do something else.
Okay, you guys are no fun.
But wait, I'm no fun because I don't want to. I don't want to suck
think-
an adult lollipop.
I think you should be involved in the first adult lollipop challenge.
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
exactly.
Well, you guys aren't going to do it, so why would I do it?
Okay, so let me ask you this even more important
Yeah.
question is, who do you go with at running back? Because this is a muddy situation. They've got,
How about nobody?
well, they got Mostert, who looked great when he ran. They got Jeff Wilson, who looked great when he ran. They signed Wayne Gallman, who I thought was a really capable back last year, covering for Saquon. And then they drafted Trey Sermon in, the 4th round?
Was it that? No, I think was it that late?
Maybe the 3rd round.
Maybe I think the 3rd.
Okay, so what do you guys think?
Well, I think you can take. Unfortunately, I think Jeff Wilson right out of the equation. He had looked great last year when he was filling in. But this injury prior to camp and how muddy that backfield already is and drafting a running back, that usually spells doom for those types of backs. So I think Wilson's out of the equation.
I'm tired.
Mostert, talk about a guy that I want to see more longevity out of. I mean, he didn't blow up until his 5th or 6th year in the NFL, right? A guy that was kind of kicked around a little bit. And he much like Damian Williams the year before, showed up in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He was same year, right? Kansas City.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they both tore it up.
He blew up in his 9th year. Is that crazy?
It was year 9.
So he came in the league in
How
2015.
old is this guy? 30?
Came in 2015, played for Miami, Baltimore, Cleveland, Chicago, traded to San Fran in 2016, and broke out in 2019.
Wow.
Masks is hard. I think that's 6 years there, Rocky.
6? No, actually, you're right. It's actually not even. No, it's 5. I don't think it's even 6. So
It's all right, man. I am refraining from any timetables from now on.
Yeah, you said 10
Arian
years.
Foster, 10
earlier.
years. My God.
So then it's only
Mitch
4 years.
Trubisky feels like that was 12 years ago.
Yeah. So what threw me off is he played for 3 teams in 1 year. That's
Yeah.
what it was. He played for Miami, Baltimore, Cleveland, all in 2015.
He also thought Tariq Cohen and Barkley were the same size.
Wow. So he broke out in his 4th year, but he's looked good when he's broken out in
He
both
has.
receiving and
And
rushing.
stayed healthy. And
Yeah.
again, that's the big thing with him too.
So what do you guys picking there?
I'm going with the Rook, man. I like Trey Sermon. I think it'll be a matter of time before he takes over. And from what I've seen of him in college, I think he can. Obviously, Rocky can speak to it a little bit more than I can, being the Ohio State fan. But I liked what I saw.
How do you figure Wayne Gallman in?
So I like Mostert. Honestly, he would be the guy I would choose. I would stash Sermon. I think Gallman's going to make some noise too, though.
He was valuable last year for sure.
Yeah, and I felt like he showed that he was better than just an average runner.
I think he's a pretty good runner.
Yeah, I don't
He
think he's a
lacks
great receiver.
speed, like high top end speed.
Yeah,
but he is a good runner.
Where's he at? He's been in the league a few years too.
Who, Gallman?
Yeah.
No, his 4th or 5th year. He was drafted by the Giants.
Yeah, this will be his 5th year.
My issue with Sermon is that all of his stats came in 3 games. So he went from almost getting benched by Ohio State at the start of the season. He wasn't their number 1 back. It was Master Teague, great name.
Yeah, that's a good name.
And then he came on during the Northwestern game. Teague got hurt. He came in and had almost 300 yards, several touchdowns. Next, followed up in the Big Ten championship with almost another 300 yards, and then looked pretty amazing. And it was the 3rd game. Now, then he got hurt in the national championship. So I think he's got the talent. He showed it at the very end of the year, but it's kind of unknown. So I would probably still go Mostert, and then I would stash one of the other 2.
Kind of unknown is how San Fran likes to do their backfield.
That's fair. No, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, and then we're going to move on to probably the most dubious of all of these is Jimmy Garoppolo
Yeah.
or Trey Lance.
Yeah.
What's that last name?
Garoppolo.
Yeah, Garoppolo's good.
Oh, so how do you pronounce it? Garoppolo?
Isn't it Garoppolo?
I don't know.
Garoppolo. That's it.
Garoppolo.
Yeah, Garoppolo.
I've heard it both ways.
Garoppolo.
You've heard it
with an S.
Garoppolo in the Pasquale house, maybe, because I don't know anybody else calls him that.
It's Wally House. So what are you talking about?
Your brothers and you maybe call him.
I don't hang out with my brothers like that.
You guys have a house? You should start your own YouTube channel.
No, I live in a box.
No, what I'm saying is
clubhouse.
all the Pasquale brothers. The Pasquale
clubhouse.
house.
Yeah, we pass you around like a rag doll.
It even sounds like a pretty
Don't blush.
gay house.
Okay? Don't blush.
That's terrible.
So, Garoppolo
In
or
this house
Trey
we-
Lance?
Do 3 of the Pasquales together, like on top of each other, equal mark in height? Or
And weight, probably, too.
In this house, we only eat white meat.
no? Okay, so
Oh, my God.
I'm going to jump out and I'm going to say definitively I'm taking Lance.
I'm gonna whoop your ass.
I am taking Lance. I feel like he's the heir apparent. They might start with Jimmy, but I think they're going to replace him first chance they get.
It's always good to start with Jimmy.
Yeah,
I would take him in a 2-quarterback league though.
Okay, yeah.
Which one, Jimmy or Trey?
Jimmy. Oh, well, I would take both. I'm saying Jimmy in a regular league, I would not take because I'd be counting on Lance playing at some point.
Yeah.
In a 2 QB league, I still think there's value, obviously, in the first few starts that Jimmy would make. So I would take him in a 2 QB league.
Yeah. I like to see what Jimmy can do with a full complement of weapons that stay on the field. You know, I know they put a lot of stock in Lance. They traded up to get him, even, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
I think they traded up in
Well,
the
they did.
in the draft.
And did you hear that Shanahan admitted that he messed up, that he was actively trying to trade for Stafford and left to go out for drinks with his wife in Hawaii. And by the time he had gotten back, he had been traded to the Rams.
Wow.
So it tells you they were unhappy with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
It was either going to be Stafford or it was going to be Trey Lance.
Well, it's not very often that you get to bring a guy like Stafford in either. You know, the record might not support it, but if you just watch film on Stafford goes through his progressions. He's accurate. He's a very, very good quarterback.
And he's tough as nails.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a pretty tough guy.
Is he? Oh, he is. That what was that? Was that last year or the year before with the broken ribs?
Broken ribs. He played with like something in his back the year before.
Yeah.
Broken finger. He's a tough guy.
Let's just say they're not going to create no tuck rule for him.
That's fair. So I think we're all wrapped up on this. What do you guys think?
I think
I think we are too.
Yeah.
I think I just pissed Jared King off.
Who cares? Well, it's
pretty easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, come on. He's proud of Giannis now. Like, fuck out of here. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us today. Seriously, all our new subscribers, people watching, we really appreciate it. If you could give us some feedback, some comments, definitely do that. Look us up on TikTok. We have some, I guess you could call them funny TikToks up there. Ultimate Fantasy Locker Room. Also on Instagram. Follow us there. Any questions, comments you have, don't be afraid. See you next. Oh,
when
you
are
got something to say?
No,
Okay.
I'm gonna ask.
Yeah.
When are we gonna start answering some live questions?
Soon, very soon.
Yeah.
We're going
There
to
you
do
go.
it right before the start of most drafts. Not,
Okay, so-
not degenerate drafts.
We don't have a hard date yet, so we will give you a hard.
There you go, fans. Non-committal. It's coming.
Well, maybe next time we talk about it before the show. So you just pull it out.
Organic, baby.
Peace.